Hello, everybody. It's about that time. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey, everybody. Thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from Sweetwater Brewing Company. These guys are out of Atlanta, Georgia. This is the Gimp, which is an old ale. And guys, I've been selling this beer for quite a long time. So I figured it was time to get it out of the closet and get it into the fridge, get it chilled down so we could review it. This beer was done many, many moons ago. Not sure what the date is. It's sweating profusely now that I got it out of the fridge. We'll take a closer look and see if there's any kind of vintage or dating on the bottle when we come back for the final chug. But this is a retired beer. They don't brew it anymore. And the last comment I seen over on Beer Advocate was like in 2014. And it was first posted in 2012. So I don't know if it's a brewed once beer or not, but it has got several years of age on it. And it is a 10 point some percent, 10.3% alcohol by volume. And I don't see, and it's a silk screen label on there, so if it was a brewed once beer, it ought to have some kind of dating or vintage on it. And I do not see it anywhere. And there may be something stamped on the bottle somewhere. But with a dark brown bottle and more than likely a black stamped on code, you can't see it when it's got beer in the bottle. So. And I've had it for a while, guys. I actually bought this beer many, many years ago. So let's see how well it's cellared. This is considered an old ale. So, I mean, it's not bourbon barrel aged or anything like that, but it's a big 10.3%, which should cellar very well. I mean, there's nothing in there that's going to fade over time. It's cellaring. It's just going to let everything combine and come together. It should be tastier now than it was back then. We shall see. We shall see. Commercial description says here, the Gimp, a love story. A wide open old ale, the Gimp gags up alcohol at 10.3% by volume. Is bred to be stashed in a dank, dark cellar, only to be brought out for your most special guests. Well, I guess that's me in the other half. This full-bodied Gimp gives off sweet sense of caramel and toffee, and as legend has it, warm sensations of malt balanced by low-voltage doses of hops, delivering a shocker you'll actually want to receive. Don't keep the Gimp's leash too light, as he will mellow with age and become more experienced the longer he stays locked up in the cellar. Bring out the Gimp. And that's what I've done here, guys. I've cellared this one for quite a while. Several years, if not more than that. I don't remember if I bought this in 2012 or 2013 or 2014. I did not write anything on the bottle on a piece of tape to tell me when I actually bought it. And even then, you don't know how long. I mean, if the beer was actually done in 2012, I'm not sure, and I picked it up in 2013 or 2014, you still don't know how old the beer is. I didn't go to the website to see when it was produced, because more than likely they're not going to tell me. But it is a retired beer. So I doubt if you'll see this on the shelf anywhere. All of it's probably been picked up and purchased and put away or drank by now. So, as far as IBUs goes, let's see if Untapped has it. No, they do not. So we don't know what the IBUs are on this beer. So, without further ado, it is a big 22-ounce bomber. Hope it doesn't gush all over the place. That would kind of chap my ass a little bit. Nice little hit. It looks like it's staying in the bottle. I will tell you the cheese is buttery, brie, Gouda, Havarti, Swiss, and it says here general digestive. Last word, a pint back a 9-tumbler snifter, oversized wine glass. I got my favorite snifter, and it says here can be cellared for a long, long time, which I have done. Didn't pour a massive head, just barely covering the top of the beer. Over to the light, it is a murky brown color. A little bit of light coming through the thin part down here, not much. I can't see the bulb through it. But it is a very rich, dark, deep mahogany brownish color. And from here I'm getting some sweet caramel notes already. Let's put it to the nose. Caramel, toffee, brown sugar, and very big sweetness on the back end, guys. Not a lot of alcohol for a 10.3%er. Smells very nice, very barley wine-esque to me. And a lot of the old ales have that same quality. But this one has a very strong sweet back end, which tends to go toward the barley wine aspect, in my opinion. Smells pretty good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh yeah, that is very tasty, guys. Rich caramel, roasted malt, toffee, brown sugar, even molasses. Maybe a little bit of dark fruit in there, but it's not standing out right now. Those aromas and flavors may come out as it comes up to room temperature. Very nice. Very tasty and very drinkable for a 10.3%. A great candidate to cellar, which I have done. And you can sell this beer for a lot longer than I have. I can't think of a single reason why you can keep this beer 3, 5, 10, 15, even 20 years at 10.3%. And it's probably just going to get a little better and better over time. So all those flavors come together and they combine very well on these style of beers a lot of times. Most of the time, as a matter of fact, when they get to this ABV. Wow, very tasty, guys. Well, let's let it warm up, pour her a glass, and sip on it, and maybe step out and fire up a cigar, and see where it ends up after about 30 minutes. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sipping on about 30 minutes or so. This beer is aged exceptionally well, guys. It's very, very tasty at this stage of the game. Like I said, I looked at the bottle when I come back, couldn't find any kind of vintage or dating on it whatsoever. But this may have been done before they started dating anything. I'm not even sure they're even dating anything now. I'm not sure, guys. I don't buy a lot of Sweetwater beers. They are available. Some of them are available here now. I told you earlier that I think I may have bought this beer, but I'm not sure. This beer, I've had it so long. Somebody may have sent it to me, and that was probably before I was writing people's names on the bottles that it was sent to me, or I may have picked it up on a trip to Florida or Louisiana, somewhere along the line. I'm not exactly sure, guys. I've had it too long, and my memory is not what it used to be. So if you sent this to me many moons ago, I apologize. I haven't got your name written on it, but I'm thinking I picked this up somewhere along my travels somewhere. To the southern part of the United States, whether it was a trip to New Orleans or to Florida or somewhere. I think I may have picked this up along the way. Not seen this beer here because they don't do it anymore. It was a brewed. I think it was a brewed once beer, or it is a retired beer for sure. I don't know if they did it a couple of different years, 1 year or what. I don't know the history on the beer. But it has cellared very, very well. It's a very tasty beer. For a non-barrel aged beer, for an old ale, it has come together very, very well. So if you have this in your cellar, or you've had this recently, let me know what you think on this one, guys. I think it's very tasty. I enjoyed this. Alcohol's pretty well hidden for a 10.3% old ale, and got a lot of toffee and caramel and sweet malt, and maybe a slight, ever so slight hint of some dark fruit, molasses and brown sugar. Very sweet on the back end. Very easy drinking for 10.3%. So let's do the final chug here. A very delicious old ale that has cellared exceptionally well. Guys, to me, I think it's an A beer. I'm going to give it an A minus. 90 would be what I would give this beer. It is very, very tasty. Cellared exceptionally well. Delicious. Delicious. If you haven't tried this, or you haven't picked it up, or you don't have it in your cellar or fridge, you're probably not going to be able to get your hands on it. I'd be very damn surprised if you've still seen one of these sitting on the shelf somewhere. You might get lucky. Maybe you might find a little mom and pop store that's actually still got one of these sitting on the shelf. I doubt it, but you might. You might. I'm not going to say it's out of the question, because a lot of times some of these beers will sit on shelves for a long, long time. But I kind of doubt it. I kind of doubt it. Especially if it was only done once, and if it was done in 2012, and here we are in 2017. Like I said, I don't have a vintage on it, so I don't know exactly when this particular version was done. Whether they'd done it a year or two or three, then stopped and retired it, or whatever. Don't know the history on the beer, guys. But it is very, very tasty. No matter what vintage this is, it sells very well, guys. Another reason why I would like to see that put on the beer. If they did it only once, well, I'd put that on there. There's no reason why not to. But it's a 2012 edition, 2013, 2014. And if they've done it multiple years, another reason why to put that vintage on there. Maybe you want to do a 2012 and a 2014 side by side, a vertical, to see what the differences are. Man, it's just the way I think about things, guys. That's just me. That's just my OCD, guys. I want to see that vintage on it. Even though it's not going to go bad, and it's still going to be good 5, 10, 15, even 20 years down the road. Just to put it on there. And even if you pick it up at the store, like I said earlier, just because you picked it up in 2013 doesn't mean it's a 2013 beer. It could have been in 2012 and been on the shelf for a year. So, I'd like to see those guys do that. But anyway, enough about that. Let's run over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate says 82. I think it's much better than an 82, guys. It may not have been when it was fresh. It may have been a little boozy, or this, or that, or the other. But at this stage of the game, it's a lot better than an 82. If you say it's a 92, I wouldn't argue with that. It's pretty damn tasty. And over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says, hey, 90 overall and 80 in the style. I think it fits the style very well. I don't know why they would give it an 80. Overall was 90, and that's exactly where I'm putting it. That's exactly what I think this beer is. Definitely an A beer, very well made. And our final check-in, we'll run over to Untappd. They have it at 3.72, which is right at their B to B plus range. Maybe it was that when it was fresh, but I think right now it's a tad better than that. Everything has come together very well. It's cellared very well. Got a nice caramel toppy, brown sugar molasses taste to it. Nice sweet malt. Very tasty. Very, very tasty, guys. So other than Rate Beer, all the rest of the guys are putting it a little lower than I think the beer deserves. So, and guys at Sweetwater, I think they are dating their stuff. As far as the 6-pack 12-ounce bottles goes, now I'm not sure about their bombers or anything. I haven't bought anything recently from those guys. But I'm thinking they are dating their stuff. Now, whether they're doing it at Best Buy, Enjoy Buy, or some kind of silly-ass dating, I'm not sure. Whether they're actually putting a bottle on date on those, I'm not sure, guys. I don't buy a lot of Sweetwater beers right now because I've had most of them, especially the ones that are available here and in the 6-pack. So, well, if you've had this one, this is the Gimp Dank Tank series. A very tasty old ale, guys. I enjoyed it. If you have, let me know what you think. Come on back tomorrow. Let's see what's in the fridge. See you then.